This is the water heater, and I'm going to look it up. Nivion tankless water heaters require a safety pin. I don't know if this one does require a safety pin. Okay, code says water heater tanks, and these are tankless. So this probably meets the intention of the code. I get that, but does it meet the manufacturer's recommendations? Installation instructions. Does it meet that? B, C, D. No instructions at the tankless water heater. And we do not have a safety pin. Now, I was just out and to inspect the condensing units, and I noticed that this drain pipe terminates properly. This is the pressure relief valve. Okay, right here. That way we know it works. All right. Gas pipe has a sediment trap. Okay, we still have a carrier use manual. Code says that this drain line should should have an air gap in it in the same room with the water heater. Okay, follow me with this. Code says you should have an air gap on this drain pipe. I get that it just goes to the other side of the wall and down. I get that. I get that you'll probably never have a problem with it because of the air gap. I get that part too. But code says you're supposed to have an air gap in here. Okay, so if we got an air gap in here, got a safety pan. Safety pan has a drain that goes outside. Pretty easy fix. Pretty easy fix. You got an air gap in your drain line, so it's perfect. Doesn't have to be. You got a safety pan. You got your instructions. Everything's good to go. Everything's good to go. Thermostat is right here by it. Water temperature should be higher than 120 degrees. So, oh my, the more you look. See that nipple right there? You know what that's for? This is a high efficiency water heater. High efficiency. That means that it sends exhaust fumes out, but it sends very little heat out. All right? So when it captures all the energy that the flames made, and it's that tight, that it absorbs all of the energy and it doesn't expel it outside, what you would see as steam. Okay, well, what's happening is it's creating condensate, acidic condensate. And that condensate, when it develops inside of here, it's supposed to come out of this hose, has a little drip, goes into your safety pan. Safety pan drains to the exterior. If it goes into your plumbing, or if you've got gardening over there, maybe you want to install a neutralizing filter for your drain line, but you don't have it. You do not have, your condensate drain line has not been installed. So that's something to think about. So what happens to the condensate? It comes down here where you don't have a safety pan. Wrecks your heat exchanger inside of there. Everything gets, it's acidic, and all that acidic goes inside the water heater and causes it to not last very long. So there's lots of different reasons why you want to get the condensate out of here, So also, when I look up underneath here, this is the gas valve. And I understand it's like spark plugs. They just bolted this thing up. They just bolted it up. We're good to go. And it works. And it'd probably save you some money in comparison to a conventional tank water heater. But this is like a Porsche. And if you want to get a Lamborghini even, But anyway, if you want to get the performance out of it, it's not a Chevy Volt, is what I'm getting at. And you want to get the performance out of it, that would have been adjusted, okay, mic'd in, but it requires a manometer, and not a lot of plumbers have that on their truck. If they do, it's dusty and underneath the seat because they just bolt it up. Good to go. But this installation was not, 100%. Sorry, but it wasn't. And again, because this is a high efficiency unit, every year these valves, this screen needs to be replaced, cleaned out, cleaned out. And you do it with these valves, and you'll get wet if you don't know what you're doing. And a plumber can do it. So this might last 10 or 15 years, giving you excellent performance. You know, but if it was mic'd in, if it had the condensate drain line, and you flush this screen out every year, you get your 10, 15 years. You ignore what I just said, 5 or 7 years. You're not going to get the longevity out of it. You're not going to get what you paid for. So 5 or 7 years, 10 or 15 years. I mean, it's totally up to my client, you know. And I'm not promising that it'll go out on 7 years, and I'm not promising that it'll last 10 years. None of those are promises. But I'm just saying, you know, based on my personal experience, my professional experience for that matter, this is what I'm seeing in the field. Also, as I keep talking, okay, this flue, okay, it's not supposed to ever tilt down like that. It's supposed to go out at a 90-degree angle. Okay, a 90-degree angle or more, but not less than 90 degrees.